Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called Reverse Culture Shocks, Returning to Germany from the United Kingdom. So I'm guessing I think it's a couple, and I'm guessing it's going to be a German couple that moved to the United Kingdom. Maybe, I know that the United Kingdom, it's, Great Britain, and it's not just London or England. I know it's Wales and Scotland and stuff, but I'm going to guess it's probably England. Some part of England, and of course, they moved, so it's gonna be, but they're German originally, so of course it's gonna be a little weird because I don't know for how long they actually lived there. So I think it must be a little weird to move back to a country, even if you are from the said country. If you spend, I don't know, 5 or 10 years somewhere else, of course it's gonna be a little weird moving back. But let's check it out and comment, subscribe, and start. That's England, I think. Beautiful, cottage home. A castle. So romantic.
Welcome back to our channel.
Hello.
Now today it's a little bit different, as you can see, because usually you see us baking in our kitchen, cooking, redecorating our home,
or traveling,
which we always enjoy so much. But the weather is quite bad today, isn't it? Today, in case you've just joined our channel, so we are Kirsten
and Jörg.
And we are 2 Germans living in the UK.
Now for 8 years.
8 years. I can't believe it. And the reason why we came here, I don't know, just for context.
Yeah, but first of all, we always wanted to live abroad. So we always wanted to live in another country.
Yes, just for the experience, and we think it's just so, I don't know, do you say that enriches?
Yes.
It just enriches your life.
Yeah, you get to experience other things.
Yes.
And a different culture.
Yes.
Need to talk in a different language.
Yes, and I don't know, so we've always wanted to do that. I lived in Egypt as a teenager.
Oh.
And you lived?
Yeah, as a baby in Australia.
Yeah, as a toddler. But somehow that still, even if you're very, very small, it still leaves an impact.
Yeah, it put a seed, at least in my case.
Yes.
It put a seed into me. So I always said, I wanted to live abroad.
Yeah. So at one time where we didn't expect it whatsoever, there came a job offer for the UK.
Yeah, and we took it, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
And because I'm self-employed, it wasn't an easy decision, so don't get us wrong. We still had to think about it.
Yeah, because you move house,
you're
away from your friends, your family.
Yeah.
Your life.
Yeah, it changes the life completely.
Yeah, but then we didn't really make a list, but we just talked about pros and cons, and we said, another job offer won't come around at our age.
No.
And we took it.
So
yeah, we've been here for 8 years and
we're enjoying it.
We do. But the funny thing is, and that's probably very normal, the longer you are in another country,
the more you miss the other.
The more you notice the differences.
Yes.
Oh.
Because the more distance you grow to your home country.
Yes, so that's why we thought it was about time to talk about reverse culture
Yeah,
shocks.
so when we travel back to Germany, what do we miss?
Yes.
Yeah.
And which we notice straight away. So, just as a little disclaimer, don't take it too seriously. But there are definitely differences. I hope it's okay that I made some notes in my phone because there are some, I must say.
The first thing is, what you notice is when you cross the border. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the customs officer
by
isn't
car.
as friendly as the British one.
Usually not. I mean,
it's usually the
hospital.
and then it's he says hello sometimes.
Yes, yeah.
Not even
Usually,
hello.
and when I cross the border, for example, when I travel by car, usually it's like you show your border at the UK border, and then you have a nice chat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a huge difference.
Yeah, that's very true. And what we notice straight away, for example, when we fly to Germany about 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Now, for example, my sister, she picks us up and we go home by car. So it takes us about 2 hours, 1.5 hours to go back from Frankfurt to my home. And you just notice the difference on the Autobahn.
Yes. Yes, the speed is just different because there's speed restrictions in the UK.
Yeah.
I think it's 70 miles per hour on a motorway.
Max, yes.
Max. But in Germany, it's
Miles?
sometimes as fast as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, there is speed limit on some parts or in some
But
parts.
on some areas there aren't, and that's when it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
it's-
crazy.
When I have to drive, it's not as
Yes.
relaxing as in the UK because you always have to be aware of somebody just coming up at 200 behind you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just wants you to move away. It does happen here as well, but not as much. And at first, when we moved here, I was like, oh, they are driving so slowly.
Yes, but you get so much used to it and it's so relaxing.
It's so nice.
And people are more polite.
Yes.
In Germany, it's just,
Move away.
they put on the lights and go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they just make this and go, go.
No, we're really like that. And we're really, very often, we're so shocked about the Autobahn.
Yeah, it's a
especially.
difference now.
So,
And we're not used to it anymore.
Another thing which really shocks us are the service stations.
Yes, yes. Because, first of
Why?
all, UK service stations are big.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, then you can get everything there.
Yeah.
And third thing is, you don't have to pay for the toilet because that's what you need to do in Germany.
I think all of Europe is like that.
Yeah. You can redeem some kind of voucher.
Yeah, you get a voucher when you pay for
But
the
you don't
toilet.
always want to buy something.
No.
So, and the service stations here, for example, you need bread or whatever. You are hungry. Okay, you can eat at German service stations as well.
But there are no shops, not that kind of a variety.
Last time
They're small.
remember when we stopped at one?
Yeah.
I felt like, I don't know, like if I was a giant in a tiny shop.
Yeah.
You couldn't really move. It's such
You're gonna
a
break
difference,
everything.
Yes.
honestly. So you notice that straight away.
Yes, service stations in the UK are really service stations. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in Germany, they're just a stop.
Yes, yes. Now, what else? So what we have, well, the opening times of shops.
Yes. Now in the UK, a lot of shops are open 7 days a week.
Yes.
At least the ones in our village.
Yes, most of them are. And we don't, what we always try to do, I think that's probably the German in us.
Yeah.
We try to avoid going to the shops on a Sunday.
Because in Germany,
They are
the shops are closed on Sunday.
and it's just a nice feeling. It's just quiet and slow, a slower pace on a Sunday.
But because we're used now to, let's say, if you forgot to buy some milk or run out of milk on a Sunday in the UK, that's not a problem at all.
You
If
just
you
go.
run out of milk in Germany, that's a serious problem because then your cereals will be Yeah, you have to use water.
Well, you could go to a service station.
Yeah, if you're lucky, if there's a service station close to you.
Yeah, you could.
But if you live remotely, and it gets a problem.
Yeah, I must say you get really used to it.
Yeah.
It's just like, for me, I must say there's two hearts beating in my chest, because I do love the slow pace on a Sunday in Germany. I love that so much. But here, if you run out of eggs, just as an example, you have the opportunity, even in your tiny village, you can get it. You know you can get it.
I just walk up down the road, to the corner shop, and I get it.
Yes.
That's great.
That's a big benefit, and that's the thing I always miss when I'm in Germany.
Also, now talking about supermarkets, big supermarkets, you know, we are always so shocked now because, for example, you have a cold or just a minor medical issue, need aspirin, cough medicine.
Yeah.
You can get it at the supermarket here.
In Germany, no way. If you want an aspirin,
Isn't that normal?
no way. Don't go to the supermarket because you won't get it there.
No.
You have to go
You
to a
need
pharmacy.
to go to a pharmacy. And the problem is, the Saturday, for example, at 12 o'clock, the pharmacy closes because
Well, maybe 3 o'clock, and in a bigger city,
in
3 or 4.
but in smaller towns, it's 12 o'clock Saturday, they're closed.
Yes.
And then you have to find a pharmacy because usually they have a kind of
like an emergency.
24 hour.
Yeah.
And because it's in a pharmacy, the prices are amazingly high.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Pay triple the price as you do in the UK for
yes.
regular aspirin.
And what we don't really understand is why they don't do it in Germany, because it's not like that you go to a supermarket here and just buy the aspirin. Someone needs to approve it, right?
Yeah, at the checkout, even if it's a self-checkout.
Yes.
Yeah, as soon as you buy paracetamol,
Yes.
aspirin, Lemsip, or cough medicine, or such a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, a light shows up and you're blocked, and a shop assistant has to check your age.
Yes, and also you can't
Which is
just...
sometimes very embarrassing.
Why? Don't you think, oh, I don't look 18?
No, because they always look at me and say, yeah, you're old enough.
Well, and it's not the case that you can buy 5 packets of aspirin.
No.
That wouldn't...
No, it's also restricted.
Exactly,
Yeah.
so...
Because I once tried to buy two packages of, I think, ibuprofen, and they didn't and then it wasn't allowed. So we said,
Yes.
no, you only have to buy one.
And we are so shocked about the pharmacy about these kind of things that you need for minor medical issues.
Yeah.
They are 5 times the price in Germany. It's crazy. So, yeah.
So every time I'm in Germany, that's the thing I miss too.
Absolutely. Also, what we notice, be it at a pharmacy or a supermarket, there's always time, most of the time, there's always time for a little small talk.
Yes, and usually in the shop, the people are much friendlier. It's kind of basic friendliness, basic niceliness. Yeah, I call it niceliness. Yes.
I think you made up a word, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Nicety.
And
That's a word.
we don't want to say, of course, wir sind Deutsche,
Yep.
wir lieben Deutschland,
Yeah.
and
You don't
people
want to
in
offend?
Germany are nice too. But overall, like when you go shopping here, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's usually, first of all, if they're very fast at it. Yeah, at the till, they're fast.
Well,
It's
they are fast here
it's
too,
like-
at Lidl
Yeah.
and Aldi.
Yes, a little, but it's like sometimes like a race. So if you, they're like, jump, up, 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 up. It's beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
And here it's sometimes, beep, and then you have a small chat, and a beep again.
But I must say, we talked about that even at
Yeah.
Lidl or Aldi here, where they are probably trained by Germans, and they do it fast. There still seems to be a little bit time for a nice chat.
Yeah, it is.
It's just,
Yeah.
and sometimes we are a little bit, oh my God,
Yeah.
what was that in Germany?
Yes, and in Germany, you say hello to the person at the till she just, somebody said something to me.
Well,
What?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's a huge difference, these kind of things. And
Yes.
it seems like, it makes your shopping more relaxed.
Yeah, yeah. And what I notice all the time, so because of a medical condition, I have to eat gluten-free for the past 26 years.
Yeah.
And it was always a little bit easier in the UK, but now it's so easy compared to Germany. And I feel like an outcast in Germany.
Yes.
I really do.
It's a huge difference. Now, remember when it was, when I got the job offer for going to the UK, it was, allergy, not a problem at all, because we knew from our holidays, in every shop you can get gluten-free stuff. At a restaurant, usually, if it's you can get gluten-free food. It's not a problem at all.
They ask you.
And they even ask you, yes.
They come to your table. First thing they do, they ask any allergies.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel so much better about myself.
Yeah. Sometimes you even get a different
Menu. Yes.
A special menu for gluten-free, nut-free, or something else.
Yes. So that's so easy. And even in the tiniest quirky cafe, there's always something.
Yes. Remember, look, last Saturday we went to a farm shop. And we didn't think about asking gluten-free because we knew they had gluten-free stuff.
Yes.
But
in Germany,
it's like gluten-free.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, oh yes, snai.
Yes, you feel like a bad person, and even in bigger cities. So
it's not common. It's in no way common. So if you've got an allergy, it's very difficult. So you need to when you, let's say, go to a cafe or to a restaurant, you need to ask, and don't be disappointed, because most of the time they will tell you, sorry, gluten-free, you can have a salad. That's all.
A salad leaf.
A salad leaf, And it's to me, it's not a thing that they can't do it. I think it's just a thing of service.
Yeah. Now, another thing that always shocks us now, I must say, because Jörg and I, we both come from villages that have about the same population, 4,000 people live in the villages.
It's tiny.
In each village. And if you go to a village with 4,000 inhabitants here in the UK, it's a big village with lots of shops, a high street.
Yeah, you've got a pub, you've got 2 or 3 shops, a cafe.
Yeah,
all these kind of things.
A charity shop or
shops,
two. Several hairdressers. Our villages, they are dead.
Yeah, like deserted.
That's bad.
Yeah. There used to be more.
Yeah, when I grew up in our village, we had,
definitely
pharmacy,
more.
You had a shoe shop, you had
a bar,
clothing shop,
several bakeries,
florist, butcher. But now it's deserted.
It's deserted.
In the village where my mother lives, you've got pharmacist, florist, and a pub.
Yeah, even the baker left or closed. So it's a huge difference, and it always comes a little bit as a culture shock.
It amazes us.
Yes. Also, it's not a reverse culture shock, but we just notice the difference. Like, I don't know, some of you who follow us might notice that when we travel, we love going to the churches and the churchyards, because the gravestones usually, or some of them, are so old.
And in Germany, usually you don't find that.
No.
At least where we come from, you won't find that, because it's the rule, after 20 years, everything's taken away.
Is it 20 or 25?
20 years.
20 years, so you only have the older...
Oh, it depends on the
probably the county, the
what does it do with the gravestones?
Yes, so you only find the war memorials, older things, but everything else, well, this is when we notice, okay, Germany is very well plenty of rules. Plenty
Yes.
of rules.
And well organized, because as I said, it's
yes.
20 years and then it's gone.
And sometimes we miss that little bit of quirkiness,
Yes.
and because it makes everything so charming.
Yes, and it's also history, because it's when you enter a church and walk behind the church and see the gravestones from 1700 something or 1800 something. And you see the family names, and it's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Because you can see a connection.
Also, we really love going into the churches.
Yes, and most churches in the UK are open.
They are. In Germany, they're mostly closed.
Yes.
Because
They
I don't
open at
know.
certain hours, I
well,
think.
people go in there, steal that. It happens here as well. But it's always nice if the churches are open, because
Yes.
we usually check it out.
Yeah, and I don't know the reason why they're closed in Germany. I think it's a different attitude.
Yes,
Yeah.
most definitely. I also must say, that might sound really strange, but here, what we really like is the small country lanes and the hedges.
Yep.
The landscape. The English countryside
it looks
is
scary.
not just a saying. The English countryside is beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's so different to where we come from. So there are no hedges. You can always hear pheasants.
Yeah, you can't hear them in Germany, because I think
I heard one last time.
no, but not that much.
And so in Germany, everything is more open,
Yeah.
the landscape. And I always say to my dad, oh, wow, I miss the hedges. I don't know why.
Yeah, because you get used to driving these kind of small country lanes,
Yeah.
these kind of small country roads, because some roads which are here a road in Germany,
Oh, gosh.
you're not allowed to drive, because it's only allowed for tractors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for farmers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't use them usually.
They are regular roads here.
Yeah.
It can be quite thrilling, but you
What do you
get
do in this
used to it.
Yep.
And people driving there are usually quite conscious
Yeah.
and careful,
Yeah.
friendly, and we really miss that in
Yes,
Germany.
yes, because it's a different kind of driving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so strange. You know what we really, really miss? Whenever, I don't know, whenever we are in Germany and go to a restaurant, we do miss the pub atmosphere.
Yes.
An open fire. Not every pub here has an open fire, but many do.
Yes. So we miss these kind of quirky pubs.
Yeah.
The pub is very British.
You don't have that much in Germany. So don't be disappointed when you're looking for a pub or a restaurant and you can't find it.
No, and people standing by the bar having
Yeah,
their drink. It's just that, I don't know, it is so charming, and we don't have that. It seems, I feel that it is always a little bit colder in
Yes,
Germany.
yes.
It feels colder.
You might have these things in different areas of Germany, but,
Most definitely.
but it's not a common thing. For example, where I grew up, it's not a common thing anymore.
I know. And the pubs here, sadly, more and more pubs vanish.
Yeah.
Which makes us really sad, but there are amazing pubs here and they have wonderful food.
Yep.
So when we go to Germany, I always say, oh, why isn't there an open fire or something? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's so gorgeous. Well, do you see what I...
Yes, what I always miss when we are in Germany. Sausage rolls and pies.
But on the other hand, we of course love...
When we're here, we're missing the German bratwurst.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's...
yeah. And I don't know if that's a
So
cultural
big compared
thing.
to the bread.
It's a culinary thing. Yeah, and just because I love it, I don't know if all Germans love sausage rolls or would love sausage rolls.
I don't think so. But I must say, well, if you want to try a German bratwurst, you can always go to Aldi or Lidl. At
Yeah.
least you can try it there. Now, you can probably tell that Jörg and I really love colour.
Yeah,
Fabrics, beautiful, bold colours, pastel colours. And we always feel that in Germany, people are a little bit how would you say?
Toned down.
Grayer?
Yeah.
They shy away from color.
Yes. So houses are not colorful. Usually they're just white.
Yes,
Whitewashed.
what we notice when we go to old villages, and there are plenty of wonderful
Yeah.
old villages, you notice the colorful entrance doors. You don't really have that in Germany, not as much.
No, we're missing that kind of cultural things.
Yes.
I mean, you've got old villages in Germany too, but first of all, not that much. And
Yeah.
usually a normal village is very, very straightforward.
Well, a lot of older houses were destroyed during the war, but we have visited some wonderful old
makes
villages in
sense, actually.
Germany.
Yeah.
But here's an abundance of those villages. And we sometimes walk through these villages and say, look at this door. Wouldn't that
Yep.
be nice? That
Yep.
colour, wouldn't that
Yep.
be nice for our front door?
Yeah.
And yeah, well, I don't know. Sometimes I really miss. I honestly notice it straight away that Germany looks more.
Yes. You walk down a road and you know you're in Germany.
Yeah, especially where Jörg comes from.
Yeah.
So he's from
Where
the
are they
Swabian
from?
Euro, and I always feel okay. People are extremely clean.
Yes. And clean, white, neat, tidy,
Yes.
well organized. Yeah. So, but sometimes it's too organized.
Too organized. Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to have it kind of,
A little mess.
A little bit
Mix-
of, I
mix
don't know.
and colour,
I wouldn't call it chaos.
No.
Charm.
charm.
A little bit of charm.
Chaos on charms.
And so we don't want to say, because we are German, we can't say one is better than the other.
No, we won't.
So although the UK is not far away from where we come from in Germany, it is so different.
Yes, and
isn't
the
it?
interesting thing is that now, after 8 years, we're used to certain things, and when you get to Germany, you miss them.
Yes,
You simply
yes.
miss them.
We do miss things from Germany here because
Yes.
we will always be German.
Yes,
Of course.
Well, I think the more time we spend here, the more we get used to certain ways
yes.
here.
And the more you get this in a kind of distance to your own culture.
Yes, yeah. So far, we don't know if we will stay here forever or if we will move back. We didn't leave Germany behind. We love
will-
it.
Yeah, but if we move back, it will be kind of shock.
Yes, it will be difficult.
be the
It
other
will be
way
difficult
around.
because we're now used to the life in the UK.
So you can see that it is pretty normal that you have these kinds of shocks.
Yeah, when you live in a country for such a long time, you get used to things, and when you return to your home country, sometimes you see it differently. You even have a kind of, for certain things, culture shock again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes a
yes.
lot of sense.
So the last time I had a huge problem with the gluten-free thing,
Yeah.
I felt so bad and thought, okay, Germany, get a grip and do something about that.
Yes, because here, as we said, it's no problem when you're in a cafe or in a restaurant or in a pub to get some gluten-free food. In
Yes.
Germany, still, it's a big issue.
So do something about
Do
that,
something about
Germany.
it.
Then we like to return.
Yeah,
So yeah, we hope you like this video. I think the list could probably go on and on.
yes, there are a lot of things where when we are in Germany, we miss about the UK,
Of course, we
and
do
vice
miss.
versa.
Yes.
Of course.
Is there something, the biggest thing that you miss when you're here, that you miss about Germany?
Germany.
Apart from family, of course. That's
It goes
course,
without saying.
obvious.
Yeah, your loved ones.
I don't know. No,
it's hard when you have to think about it because we didn't talk about
no.
it.
Sometimes special German food.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sometimes something that you miss. Otherwise, yeah.
The biggest thing, of course, is family. It's always hard to move away.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And German Handwerker.
yes, German builders.
Yeah.
That's something
Okay,
that we
yeah,
do
but what's
miss.
that?
So. Well, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. And as always, we'll see you again very soon. So Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen.
And bis bald.
Bis bald. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Tschüss.
Bye.
Tschüss.
Okay, yeah, this was very interesting. It is a German couple that has lived in the UK for quite a while. I'm shocked by a lot of things actually. Not in the UK, but I'm surprised with some things in Germany. But also I think something that really does, like, I'm like, wait, that's quite interesting actually. It's the fact that I think mostly they did mention, even though it was in several sort of situations. But I think the biggest thing is that they say it like they don't want to offend anyone. But it is true that I think in the UK, people, according to them, are nicer. I think there's like a lot of situations when they say like Germans tend to be a little bit more cold, just colder. That doesn't necessarily mean like they're not rude. Of course not. They're just a little colder, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's just culture. Like, don't take it personally. It's not that they hate you. It's just the way they are, because again, they tend to be colder. But it's funny to me that they think the British people are like nicer and sort of like warmer in that sense, because if you ask anyone from like not in Europe, I think they'll probably tell you that people in Europe, that includes obviously the UK, are probably a little colder. So it's funny to me that they're German and they think the UK, like, oh, they're so nice, they're so warm with like strangers, in the service industry, for instance, where I think you would probably ask anyone not in Europe and not European, and they're going to tell you, oh no, Europe, it tends to be a little colder, just because again, it's the culture. They don't tend to be like that nice and that warm, especially like with strangers, not obviously with the people that they love, their friends and family. But again, it's just with strangers. I think the service industry, it's like a good sort of like measuring point, because you need to interact with people when you're like buying things and you need stuff. But that's sort of like funny to me, and a little like that's funny that you guys think that, oh my god, in the UK they're so warm. But it's funny that part. But something that shocked me, several things. The pharmacy thing and the thing that you can't get, I didn't know that in Germany. The people have like the pharmacies are closed. They close super early and they close on weekends, and you can't get like, again, you're not I don't know, like you're not buying antibiotics or something that actually you need a prescription for, but just like normal like Tylenol, ibuprofen, like he said, or cough syrup, something that you need to get, aspirin, like some things that you just need to get that they're not, everyone needs every once in a while. If you get sick, you get a cold, you get a fever. Well, maybe not a fever, but if you get a cold, stuff that you just need to like go grab something at like a corner store. And it's like, no, you can't, because on Sundays, like also the like the supermarkets, I guess, and most closer shop are closed. So I'm like, wait, that's weird, because when I think of Sundays, yeah, usually Sundays a lot of places close, but I'm thinking more like maybe, I don't know, like some other type of shops. It wouldn't occur to me to think that on Sundays places that sell food are closed. To me, that's like mind-blowing. Like, why would you close on Sunday? Like, on Sundays, a lot of people actually do their shopping because they want to shop for the week. So a lot of people have that custom of like they buy their groceries for the week on Sunday, so they can have and they can like do the meal prep for the week. And they always like, maybe they go like on Wednesday or on Thursday again to buy like more things. But usually a lot of people I know that do the bulk of their shopping, like they do on Sundays, because again, it's a good, and maybe their day off is Sunday. So it's wild to me to think that no, you can't buy eggs, milk, or whatever it is. Oh, maybe you're not run out of something, and you can't get that on Sundays. I'm like, wait, what? That's, to me, like, that was probably like the wildest thing they said throughout the video, because again, it's not just because I was thinking, wait, what if you have an emergency? Again, like you got a cold and like, oh, I'm out of cough syrup, or I have an awful headache and I need some aspirin, I need Tylenol, and you can't get it. I'm like, whoa, that's so weird to me. But on the other hand, they're like, oh, but also in the UK, it's not that you can get, I didn't know that about the UK either, that you can't get well, it's weird to me, obviously, if you're like buying like 5 packs or something of like some medicine. I understand that people and the employees are going to be like, why? I mean, they can't probably ask you like why, but it's weird. I bet like it rings the alarm. Like, why would you want like so many medicine? But also, not that they're not their business, right? But it's kind of funny that they're like, no, it's you can only get one I guess like one well, not one tablet, but like one package. So that's, to me, it's funny. So they like regulate that. I didn't know that either, that in the UK they do sort of regulate those sort of like common medicines that you can get without anything. It's kind of wild. And I didn't know that in Germany you can't get those either in a normal, maybe in a supermarket. No, you have to be like at an actual pharmacy. But it's crazy. And also the gluten-free one, that's surprising to me, because I would think, because maybe, although I don't know if they are mentioning like specifically in the towns that they're from, or they're talking about like the other cities, like big cities, like, I don't know, Berlin, Frankfurt, or it is like that also in the big cities, like for example, like the gluten-free. And I would guess like gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, like another like dietary restrictions that are like quite commonplace these days. I'd be shocked if people, like, again, in like the big cities, they can't accommodate that allergy, or again a dietary restriction that people have these days. So it's weird to me that it's also in those big places that people are like, they'll tell you no, like go somewhere else, we can't help you. That's also like weird to me. And I do have to say, the thing about the tiny roads that they get in the UK, especially, I think it's something in the countryside, I think near like Wales specifically. I know there's like a lot of them, and I think in Scotland as well, but it's a lot of like the English countryside. I know it's filled with like those kind of roads where it's just like tiny. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a road that small in my life. It's so tiny. A car can barely fit in there. I don't think an SUV or a truck can fit in there. And it's so shocking to me, because I'm seeing it and I'm like, this is those roads are quite like a nightmare. And they're like, oh, we love it. It's like, what? Seriously? Because again, it's like a nightmare situation. And they showed a clip of like when you get another car, because obviously it's only like one car can pass through, and you have like, when there's like a car and there's like, what do you do in that situation? Is there a rule that someone is like, who has to like back up? Because otherwise it's like a Mexican standoff. It's like, what are you gonna do? It's like, no, what are you gonna do? You have to back up. It's like, no, you have to back up. I'm wondering if that also happens when people are like, no, you have to do it. It's like, no, you gotta do it. It's so stressful to me. I find that stressful. And it's funny that he was like, no, in the highway, like in the Autobahn, like it's like, it's crazy, because obviously people are gonna be like, they're passing through like at insane speeds, and you're like, oh my god, calm down, please, I just want to drive normally, I want to drive very calmly, and people are like, babe, get out of here. So it's funny that, well, both situations are obviously quite stressful, but the other one, even though it looks very beautiful, because obviously like you have this, the road is gorgeous, of course, but I want to go in the passenger seat, I don't want to drive there. And he's like, no, it's quite relaxing. But it's like, okay, so if you find someone, what do you do in that situation, in that scenario? I'm like, that it was incredibly interesting. I think I found out a lot of things that I wasn't expecting from both Germany and the UK. So incredibly interesting. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.